So I have been waiting to talk about this movie for such a long time, and I had a feeling that this could be one of the best films of 2021. So, does it hit that mark? Let's find out in the review. Welcome back, film fans. This is Brad from Let's Be Real Brad, and today on the channel, I want to talk to you guys about the brand new Norwegian dark romantic comedy drama film called The Worst Person in the World. The Worst Person in the World is co-written and directed by Joachim Trier, and it stars Renee Reinsve in the lead role. This film chronicles 4 years in the life of Julie, a young woman who navigates the troubled waters of her love life and struggles to find her career path, leading her to take a realistic look at who she really is. I have been so ecstatic to be able to watch The Worst Person in the World, as I didn't even make my top 10 films of 2021 yet, just because I thought that this movie could make the list. And so now that I've seen the movie, I have to say that this is undoubtedly in my top 10 films of 2021, and better yet, in my top 3 of the year, because this movie is amazing. So let's just dive right into my positives first, and I have to start with the direction here, because Joachim Trier just does an amazing job with this movie, as all the shots in this movie are simply excellent. There are so many long takes in this movie that I didn't even realize that you could make art like this, because there is one shot in particular that is so amazing, and I still don't know how they were able to do this and make it look so real. I thought so many of the shots in this movie felt so intimate and personal between the characters. I also love this movie features so many wide shots, close in shots, and I just felt like he knew exactly the way that he wanted to make this movie in his own head, and it came across on the screen. The next positive I can give this movie has got to be the screenplay, because this is one of the best screenplays of the year so far, and I am so happy that this was nominated for Best Original Screenplay at the Academy Awards. The dialogue is so pure and genuine that it feels like the actors aren't even reading off a script. Like, there are no moments in this movie that feels like a movie moment or just written to be a certain way. Everything these characters say just feels so believable every single time throughout the film. And the best aspect about the screenplay is how each scene doesn't need a whole load of dialogue to say what it wants to say, especially in the last 10 minutes of the movie, where there's one segment of it that there's no dialogue, they don't explain anything, and you just have to be able to understand this. And I thought it was such a cinematic moment. I also love the way this film is presented and structured, where we have these chapters that come on the screen to chronicle Julie's life, and it's only through a couple of years of doing this, and I thought this was a very cool way to know what is going on this specific time without doing the basic put the date on the screen kind of deal. It is a way for Trier to respect his audience, and I feel like he did such a great job of doing that. The performances in this movie are simply amazing, especially Renee Reinsve, who is absolutely dominant, as this is her first movie that she is starring in, and she knocked it out of the park. All the other actors in this movie are simply amazing, and they just work perfectly for these characters, as it really feels like that they were casted perfectly to play each one of them, because they felt like real people and not just actors on a screen reading a script. I also thought that the cinematography, lighting, and editing were simply awesome in this movie, especially the hallucination scene. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. This exemplified everything that Joachim Trier can make as an artist, and this was the best scene of the whole movie. I also found the score to this movie to be simply amazing, and I wish it would have been nominated at the Academy Awards, because it is so damn good. And I think it's because of the way that it's used in this movie, where it doesn't feel like it overly uses it to make some of these more emotional and dramatic scenes work better. It just adds to the scene. Unfortunately, this movie does have a few negatives, but they are very nitpicky to say the least, and the first one has to be the narration. This movie features some unnecessary narration more in the first half of the movie that simply just goes away in the second half, and I just felt like we didn't need the narration at all. Like, if you took this aspect out, I really don't think this movie would have changed all that much. And my last negative I have with this movie is a storyline that develops halfway through the movie, more towards the end of the second act to the third act, and I understand why it's not as developed, as there's another storyline that is developed that works so much better and it's really well done. But I felt like this movie could have easily been another 20 to 25 minutes just to explore this storyline a little bit better. Overall, guys, The Worst Person in the World is simply an amazing movie that I can't stop gushing about, with terrific performances, amazing direction, one of the best screenplays of the year, and just amazing technical qualities that just make this a movie that I want to rewatch over and over again, diving into what it is like in a modern world for women. I'm giving The Worst Person in the World a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for checking out this review, as I want to know below in the comments section, what are some of your favorite films of 2021? I can't wait to hear about those. But before you guys check out this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you want to, and ring that notification bell so I can see you all in the following video.